I've also got to mention 3 people who are watching it in Orlando, in Florida, and just reaching quickly for the names. They've got to follow Joe Hart, Father Noel Studdard, I think it is, and Michael McCarthy. Good luck to all of you. And straight away, some switches and changes, because I've noticed that Kieran MacDonald has come out to right half forward for Mayo. It's John Bannon, the All-Ireland final referee from last year, who takes charge here. And straight away Mayo getting into the first attack through James Nallum. Stopped here by Anthony Lynch. Very athletic type of cornerback. Chased there by Sheridan. Claimed here by Podsy O'Mahony. First free of the match going to Cork. 2 men in the inside forward line as anticipated. But that's won back once again there by James Nallum. Used to be centre half back, now in the midfield. Up towards David Nestor this time against Ronan McCarthy. Nestor does well. Little off balance as we're striking that one. Once again it comes back into the waiting arms of Anthony Lynch. Now, Micheál O'Sullivan, man of the match in the Munster final. Seeking out the assurance once again of the cornerback. Martin Cronin. Looking for Mark O'Sullivan. Back into Don Davis. Looking for some assistance, getting it there once again for Mark O'Sullivan. Clifford making a diagonal run close to the end line. Mayo get it back through Aidan Higgins. This is Kevin Cahill. Nallum. Dragged down by Podsy O'Mahony, free. David Brady, in fact, the one who was fouled. Good angle ball across towards Colin McMenamin. Usually the one who does an awful lot of the hard work in the Mayo half-forward line. So here's a free, which gives a chance for Maurice Sheridan to test his skills. Sheridan today playing in his 16th championship match. For Kieran O'Sullivan, it's his 17th. Usual style, puts the left leg just ahead of the ball. Then takes about 8 steps back and 3 across. He's kicking now with the wind behind him. Chance for Mayo to hit the lead. Going left. Just his first chance, but it was quite a distance out, well outside the 45-metre line. Still within his range, however. Kevin O'Dwyer here, a Garda based in Kanturk. He's done well to regain his place. That's John Mohan there. Mayo manager for the last number of years. Good kick by O'Dwyer towards Nicholas Murphy, missed by David Brady. James Nallum going back to gather. Useful ball inside there towards James Horan against Sean O'Halpine. They'll try to feed him, I'm sure, early with decent ball, and why not with a player with wonderful kicking skills who gets the first point of the day. Well, to date he scored a goal and 11 points at this famous old venue. Now he's made it a goal and 12. If they give him decent early ball, he can score from all kinds of angles.
Yes, and he's left off from taken up where he left off in the Connacht final, because he was man of the match that day with points like that.
Yeah, 5 terrific scores against Galway. That's claimed by Nicholas Murphy, but dropped down. Knocked forward. Here's Sean O'Halpine, Cork Sports Person of the Month. Back once again to Ronan McCarthy. Murphy was waiting for it, but not so. The left half back was Alan Roach. Good intervention. Nicely taken by Kieran MacDonald, trying to pop over a second point for Mayo. The umpires have a good look at it, and it's over the bar. A wonderful start by Mayo here. They're taking a firm grip at midfield, and now they've made it 2 points to no score. Well, this was a great catch here, wonderfully taken by MacDonald. Didn't think about any kind of solos, just belted it over the bar.
Yes, and off his weaker right foot as well, and he's a player that has had nightmare games in Croke Park. It'll have done a lot for his confidence to have hit the first one.
Maurice Sheridan is right corner forward, although he's drifted out towards the 40 as we speak. Roach beaten for this one. That's Michal Ronan. Towards Don Davis. Don putting a bit of pressure on Kevin Cahill. Cahill doing well. Once again towards Colin McMenamin. Great catch. It's a very assured start by Mayo. And MacDonald unable to keep the ball in play. Martin Cronin, by the way, has followed him across to that far side of the field. Here he is taking the sideline kick. Well, hit into space. A lot of work for Podsy O'Mahony to do, and David Brady got there first. Here's Fergal Costello. Up to MacDonald, no marking. Getting away from his man, having enough time, and putting it beautifully just inside the right. Wow, I thought it was just in. And for a moment there, I thought the umpire was going to come in and put up the white flag, but not so. Let's have a look at this again. Yeah, just went outside. Well caught by Maurice Sheridan. Good running through the centre here by Kenneth Mortimer. Owen Sexton trying to dispossess him. James Horan onto the left boot this time, and support coming in. Nestor couldn't quite reach it, however. But it's an unsettled start by the Cork team so far, from, well, right throughout the field, really. This is the shot here once again from James Horan, and Nestor was approaching. Nicholas Murphy, that's a fine catch. Feeding it to Kieran O'Sullivan. Cork needing a lift. Perhaps this wonderful player from Horan in West Cork can inspire them. Towards Mark O'Sullivan. Neat turn this time to take it away from his marker, who is Aidan Higgins. They hold it up here with Podsy O'Mahony. Fergal Costello trying to take it from him. Good step by Podsy O'Mahony, but not a good shot in the end. Ball has gone wide. Cork's first wide of the match. But a lovely turn by Podsy O'Mahony from Ballintubber to take him clear and into the space to create the chance for himself. He's got a goal in 13 points so far. Larry not too pleased, I think, with the start that Cork has made, but it's early stages. Peter Burke's kick. And that was Kieran O'Sullivan putting out the right boot. Mayo's possession.
Don Davis at full forward for Cork has come out the field, and instead of Kevin Cahill following him, he's obviously deputised Gordon Morley, and Kevin Cahill has stayed inside to mark Philip Clifford. So Cork operating a two-man full forward line with Philip Clifford and Mark O'Sullivan, but Kevin Cahill staying back and more or less as a left corner back at the moment.
John Maughan giving the instructions, his team playing with the wind. David Nestor inside towards MacDonald. That was Martin Cronin trying to get the ball away, but only as far as Colin McMenamin. Can he score here? He can. Well, scoring has never been his strongest quality as a player, but there's nothing wrong with that. That will do him an awful lot of good and give the team great encouragement. Mayo with 3 points. This was MacDonald just getting a piece of the action there across to Colin McMenamin on his left boot, squeezing it inside that left-hand post. Nicholas Murphy coming once again to take this. 2 fine catches from Cork kick-out so far. Kieran O'Sullivan trying to set the forwards going. James Nellen chasing back. McMenamin was close, Gordon Morley was close, and in the end, ball deemed to have been thrown, and it's going to be a free for Mayo, but taken from the incorrect position. Well, there's a man they're going to look to in this game, Podsy O'Mahony. On the bench there, the selectors, including the team doctor, Dr. Con Murphy. He ends up throwing the ball in, and Don Davis the one who gets it quickly, showing great pace, trying to get the first score of the match, and I think he's just squeezed it inside the left-hand post. Don Davis getting Cork's first point in the 10th minute. Well, delighted fans up on Hill 16, seeing Cork get their first score, and it's 3 points to 1. Well, he battled hard here, got it onto the left, beat the would-be challengers, and managed to sneak it inside that post. Murphy fisting it down this time. Don Davis picking it up. He worked so hard at this game. Micheál O'Sullivan wanted to take the free kick. Inside towards Philip Clifford. Touched down, however, by Kevin Cahill. Heaney getting it forward. David Brady there. That's Alan Roach. And a wayward clearance in the end by Alan Roach. Ball then to Cork, taken quickly by Kieran O'Sullivan inside towards Don Davis. Gordon Morley gives chase. Mark O'Sullivan trying to rip apart this Mayo defence, difficult to do so, however. Aidan Higgins beside him. Well, knocking it up high, but a bit of a wayward shot back from Mark O'Sullivan. Second wide by Cork. Still trying to get back to the kind of form, I think, that he showed at the concluding stages of the league, O'Sullivan. But essentially it's Mark O'Sullivan and Philip Clifford up front, Don Davis in a withdrawn role, and very withdrawn as I look down at the stage. Joe Kavanagh's just ahead of Davis. Micheál O'Sullivan breaks it down towards the aforementioned Joe Kavanagh. McMenamin, good work, and in the end he's fouled by Joe Kavanagh. Free to Mayo. James Nallen driving this one up towards James Horan. Back out towards Mollis Sheridan, the free taker, unable to produce anything, however, from play. Well, we've got some sideline news for you now. Let's go down there and join Marty Morrissey.
John Maughan is very concerned about the slowness of play that's being developed by Mayo. He wants his players to send in the ball very quickly, to take frees quickly, and they're not doing so, and at the moment he's quite agitated.
Well, down there with John Maughan, you've got Tomas Tierney and Tommy Lally as well, of course, the former Celtic and Sligo Rovers goalkeeper, and St Mary's GAA man from Galway. Colin McMenamin inside towards McDonald, who did really well to hold possession here. He's got a point already in the match. Blocked down this time by Owen Sexton. Spills to Ronan McCarthy, picked up by Martin Cronin. McMenamin's after him. Here's Sexton. Busy player at centre half back, driving forward. They chase after him, in particular David Heaney trying to stop him. This ball reaches in the end Micheál O'Sullivan, and it's gathered in beautifully by Aidan Higgins, the cornerback. Good play. Nicely away by David Heaney. Into the corner once again towards James Horan, who takes up some very good positions, and in the course of that is taking Sean O'Halpine all over the park. Well, the linesman was giving it one way, and then the referee overrules him, and it's a Cork ball.
Yes, I think the referee made the right decision there.
So Sean O'Halpine to strike this. Towards Joe Kavanagh, gathered in well there. Heaney drags him down, and that's going to be a free to Cork. Hit in swiftly. Micheál O'Sullivan beaten for this one. Mayo get the free kick. Not as far as Kenneth Mortimer. Now he used to be the right corner back, but played in a colleges match for Jarlath against St Brendan's on the 40 some years ago. Kieran MacDonald, two-man inside, waiting for this one. James Horan's one of them. Sean O'Halpine, the player doesn't foul, does his best to dispossess, but beaten this time, and once again it's Horan who strikes a beautiful point. Two for James Horan. Very much the hero. Very rarely disappoints in big matches in Croke Park. it was 2 against 2, but in this particular instance, James Horan got the better of Sean O'Halpine. But that two-man inside forward line is working well for Mayo, and it's 4 points to 1.
Nice bad work there by Sean O'Halpine. He shouldn't have allowed James Horan to get inside him for the start off, and then got shook off very, very easy.
Nicholas Murphy coming once again to try and take a third catch in midfield. Eventual ball pulled out of play by Kieran O'Sullivan.
The Mayo midfielders are not reading these kick-outs very well. James Nallen and David Brady should be up much closer to get in a punch on the likes of Nicholas Murphy.
Ronan McCarthy going back for this one. Martin Cronin's there as well, just in case reinforcements are required. Kieran MacDonald doing the fouling. In the end, pushing his man down. There it missed the National League because of work commitments. Don Davis. That's left behind there to James Nallen. David Brady. Beautiful ball inside to David Nestor. Lovely turn. Again, there is support. Horan back once more. Gordon Morley coming forward. In towards Kieran MacDonald, trying to sell dummies. David Nestor's just ahead of him. And that's going to be a free. Close to the 13-metre line.
Yes, but in that instant there, even though Kieran MacDonald has got a free in, it shows both the good and the bad sides of his play. He's a great man to score and get possession, but there are times when there's players running and he doesn't see them, and he played that ball when there was players loose. There was a chance of giving in a good pass there and opening up the whole Cork defence.
Indeed, David Nestor was just ahead of him and probably in the clear. So Maurice Sheridan has missed one free already in the match. I've noticed that Kieran MacDonald has been switched on to Mark MacDonald, incidentally, in the last couple of minutes.
Time to put the body in, lads.
So Sheridan hitting the spree with precision. Lovely technique. First point of the match. Mayo go even further in front. They've made much the better starts here, and it's 5 points to 1.
Well, Mayo are well worth their lead, but I suppose the big change in the Mayo style from what we saw in 96 and 97, they're kicking the ball in first time into their forwards, they're creating space. There's very little of the short casting that we were used to with Mayo teams.
There's Nicholas Murphy. He's dropped this one. He's catching a couple of decent balls earlier on. Brady. James Horan again trying to get inside the cover of Sean O'Halpine. Still it's James Horan. Nice ball inside to Kenneth Mortimer. Quick look up, little chip, and it's over the bar. His first of the day. But the Mayo forward line are really giving the Cork backs an absolutely torrid opening 20 minutes to this game. Here it was again, Horan the distributor this time, and an excellent finish from Kenneth Mortimer.
Well, Sean O'Halpine is struggling badly at full back for Cork. Mayo are using the long ball wisely, putting it in there to James Horan, and is exposing O'Halpine very badly at the moment.
Nicholas Murphy trying to win the kick out, but again it falls to Mayo. James Nallen. Great run again by James Horan. But the ball just having a little bit too much pace, in spite of his very best efforts. Well, he really is starting in wonderful form here, and we've got some sideline news once again from Marty.
Yes, indeed. Great concern now on the Cork management team that Sean O'Halpine is not able for James Horan. I think you can anticipate perhaps a move very shortly. Ronan going in full-back, taking up James Horan, and Sean O'Halpine taking David Nestor. Yep. Indeed, as we speak, we can see there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on between all four.
Well, as you were speaking, in fact, they have made that change. Colin McMenamin. Nice ball into space, but just this time James Horan was anticipating the ball going left rather than right. Here's Owen Sexton. Martin Cronin. David Brady with the shoulder. Nallen next in the queue. Threaded inside towards Joe Kavanagh. The Cork forwards looking for some decent ball in there. They've been starved of possession in the opening minutes of this match. Joe Kavanagh, strongly built fellow, but that's gathered in by the goalkeeper, who's Peter Burke. Huge cheer as McMiniman has gone back in towards his own half-back line to collect that one. Here's Maurice Sheridan, one of the stars of 96 and 97, but at the end of it all, no reward in terms of All-Ireland success for this Mayo team. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan. Martin Cronin, challenged by Mortimer. Brady trying to hold up his progress. Joe Kavanagh. And he was hit in the face, I think. And Kenneth Mortimer is pleading his case, but very much in vain, because the referee, I think, has noted his number. Still Kenneth Mortimer protesting, with Joe Kavanagh feeling there wasn't very much contact made, if any. That's Podsy O'Mahony. This is where they need a score, and Podsy O'Mahony is there to deliver. First point of the man for the match for the man from Ballintubber. I've noticed that as Podsy has made it 6 points to 2, there is an injury to one of the Mayo forwards, and at the moment the man who's receiving attention is Kieran MacDonald, and that is the team doctor in there, Dr. Frank Davey. Well, he's still limping somewhat. Kieran O'Sullivan is his marker at this stage. It's a revamped Cork backline, had to be, because they were being ripped apart in several key areas. So 4 points between the teams, in spite of the fact that Mayo have been much the better of the two sides so far. Taken here by Don Davis. Podsy O'Mahony breaks it to himself, but it's won back by Gordon Morley. Played ahead by Sheridan. And again, coming forward here is Fergal Costello, the wing back, beautifully inside towards David Nestor, and he's blazed this one to the left. One of the easier chances so far to fall Mayo's way.
Yes, that's a bad miss from Mayo. 6 wides now and 6 points. So we're watching the Mayo minors earlier, they would have seen an exhibition of point scoring in the second half into this canal end.
I kind of half thought some of those Mayo minors might be making their way into the Irish international team. Just have a word with the manager of that side.
Well, we look at the seniors for the moment.
James Nallon loses it this time. It's Don Davis. He's poleaxed, down he goes. Free taken inside here towards Joe Kavanagh. Some running ahead of him to the left. Micheál Cronin. Kavanagh holding onto it. Belted in towards Mark O'Sullivan. Cork needing something here. O'Sullivan might produce. He's put it wide. Hard to believe, but they were closing him down quickly. But those kind of misses from promising situations have just underlined his inconsistency in recent games. This was it again here. O'Sullivan taking it around the corner back, Aidan Higgins, then somehow conspiring to put it wide, much to his own annoyance.
Yes, but over the last 5 minutes we have seen Joe Kavanagh coming into the game a lot for Cork, and of course he's a major influence for them. For the first 10 minutes he never got his hands on the ball.
Martin Cronin has been busy on the half-back line. Fed inside here towards Micheál O'Sullivan from Carbery Rangers. Kieran MacDonald was chasing back to Mark O'Sullivan, trying to get it onto his strong right boot and looking for his score up into the air. Clifford's after it, spills away from him, however. James Nallon is fouled after he kicked that ball away, so it's a free from just inside the Mayo 65-metre line. Philip Clifford, the player who may need to receive attention. Free taken quickly by Kenneth Mortimer. Now David Nestor. His new marker is Sean O'Halpine. Sheridan back once again to Mortimer. And that sails into the goalkeeper's arms. O'Dwyer then a chance to set up a counter-attack for Cork. McCarthy. Bypassing Cronin this time, Nicholas Murphy, substituted in the Munster final when he tired visibly in the second half, and he loses it, but it went on Colin McMiniman. Kieran O'Sullivan. Punted ahead here to Podsy O'Mahony, ready to take on Fergal Costello. David Heaney's back there, so too is James Allen, and he still manages to beat them all and put it over the bar for his second point of the match. Cork's most promising attacker in terms of being able to get scores. 2 for O'Mahony so far, and it's 6 points to 3.
Well, he's running at the defence, which is a problem with a lot of the Cork forwards, but he hopped the ball twice and got away with it.
Liam McHale there on the right-hand side of that group. Kevin O'Neill as well, former All-Star. Plenty of talent on the bench for Mayo. Toe poked away by O'Sullivan. O'Mahony. Now here comes Kieran O'Sullivan. He's left MacDonald behind him. Heaney trying to come across and dispossess. Good run forward by Joe Kavanagh. Took it beautifully. Here's the chance. It's a great block down. But there's still possibilities. And Clifford puts it in the back of the net. Philip Clifford. "26 minutes into the first half. A vital break for Cork. A very promising move involving Joe Kavanagh. Kieran O'Sullivan played it ahead. He somehow managed to contain it. It was a great block down. And when it came to O'Sullivan, it finally fell to Philip Clifford, and he found the empty net. Well, there was a wonderful block in the midst of all of that. A lot of good blocking, but Clifford's deft touch was supreme. So now the sides are level. In spite of playing very much second best, it just illustrates that some of the Cork forwards, given decent possession, have possibly the beating of the Mayo backs. Maurice Sheridan trying to restore Mayo's lead, but that's hit well away to the right.
Well, the most significant change that has been made in this game has been putting Kieran O'Sullivan and Kieran MacDonald. O'Sullivan has come forward in the last 2 occasions, and MacDonald hasn't chased back. And O'Sullivan there gave the pass to Kavanagh, which set up the goal.
Micheál O'Sullivan leaving this one for Ronan McCarthy. Towards Podsy O'Mahony, and Fergal Costello comes after it. McCarthy once again beaten by Kenneth Mortimer. Nice ball forward. 2 Corkmen on the ground to watch James Horan kick, but that was probably an easier chance than the points he put over earlier on. But there are 2 Cork players down. First of all, Ronan McCarthy is down, and I think Podsy O'Mahony has just got himself back onto his feet once again. Team doctor just making sure that the cornerback from Douglas is able to continue. But a couple of bad misses from Mayo in the last few attacks there. 8 wide so far by Mayo. Indication of the amount of possession they've had, and opportunities as well, but also of their inaccurate finishing. Don Davis, terrier-like. Ronan, Davis coming forward again. Gordon Morley chasing after him. Transferred inside to Joe Kavanagh. Another promising opportunity for Kavanagh. He'll blast one, saved by the goalkeeper, and followed in, and it comes back somehow. Well, there looked to be another goal there for Cork to take, but somehow it stayed out. This was that move again, Joe Kavanagh really driving one, stopped by the goalkeeper, and the ball came back off the post, and once again it's Mark O'Sullivan who's out of luck. Real disappointment for the Newmarket player. Very deep move this time by James Horan to come that far away from goal. Poor pass. O'Halpine. Now O'Sullivan. Higgins trying to get there ahead of Mark O'Sullivan. Falls for Podsy O'Mahony, and then Aidan Higgins collides with him. Referee has noted the offence. He wants to have a little word with Aidan Higgins. Higgins playing in his 4th championship match, having his name taken by referee John Bannon. And there's the first yellow card of the match.
Well, at this stage now, Ger, David Heaney is struggling badly at centre back for Mayo and Joe Kavanagh, and Paddy O'Mahony is definitely getting the better there of Fergie Costello as well. So Cork's very good players are beginning to come into the game more. Kieran O'Sullivan at the back as well.
There's the angle of difficulty as Paddy O'Mahony drives it in, but it stopped on the goal line. James Nallen was back there. Higgins once again, back to David Brady. Now Gordon Morley. Nobody in to challenge him, but that poor ball. Murphy back to his midfield partner, Micheál O'Sullivan. An angled ball, beautiful ball in fact, in for Mark O'Sullivan. Higgins trying to confront, and O'Sullivan trying to score, and he does. Well, that will lift his confidence. Cork leading in this match for the very first time. Well, he's had opportunities by now. He might have a goal and a couple of points to his credit, but it's 1-4 to 6 points. 4 chances so far for Mark O'Sullivan in the game, and this, his first point, it's given Cork the lead. Both sets of followers getting right behind their team with about 5 minutes to go to half-time.
Well, Kevin Cahill has now switched across to play on Mark O'Sullivan, who's been getting a lot of possession. Aidan Higgins now taking Philip Clifford.
Here's Owen Sexton. Holding up just momentarily. Here's Kevin Cahill. Nice block down by Mark O'Sullivan. Back to Cahill once again, a player who came back from a career-threatening cruciate knee ligament injury. James Horan. Again, a good turn. This time, decent ball inside for MacDonald. His marker, remember now, is Kieran O'Sullivan. Trying to get close. Still Kieran MacDonald. On his left boot, slicing this one over the bar. A very fine score indeed by Kieran MacDonald. He's got 2 points. Mayo Hearts lifted again. The team's level here for the second time by virtue of this wonderful piece of creativity and excellent shot from MacDonald. It's 1-4 to 7 points.
And MacDonald is playing at full forward at the moment. Kieran O'Sullivan full back for Cork. James Horan has moved out the field as he did in the Connacht final.
Both sets of forwards quite capable of causing a lot of consternation. Paddy O'Mahony leaves it behind to Fergal Costello. Sheridan back towards James Nallen. Good block down by O'Mahony. Back to Nallen once again. And that's Anthony Lynch, the West Cork man. Ronan McCarthy. High challenge from James Horan. And the referee going in to speak to James Horan. And once again, the referee about to give a card. 2 Mayo players now have had yellow cards. And there's Pat Fallon there, warming up on that far side, doing the stretching exercises. I wonder will he be introduced possibly even before half-time. 2 minutes to the break or thereabouts. This time the Cork player on the ground is Martin Cronin. Seemed to have touched the ball as he was falling down onto the ground, and it's going to be a free to Mayo.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Pat Fallon introduced. I've made the point on a couple of occasions there that the Cork kickouts are dropping short. But Nicholas Murphy has been allowed to go up and catch a few of them unchallenged. The Mayo players should be really coming in from behind and punching the ball. It's the easiest thing in the game to do. But they haven't been there. They haven't been getting up and punching that ball down to their half-forwards.
Sheridan with 1 point from a free so far. That's 1 out of 3 frees that he's taken. This from 50 metres drops once again into the goalkeeper's hands. Kevin O'Dwyer trying to get that ball out, and it's 45. Protest from some of the backs there. So once again it'll be Maurice Sheridan who'll be called into the action. But confident goalkeeping by Kevin O'Dwyer from the O'Donovan Rossa club. Today the 25-year-old plays in his 14th championship match. So the wise men of Mayo down there. Tomas Tierney involved as well, of course. Maurice Sheridan, 1 point from a free so far. 18 points in the championship, including today, 15 of them coming from place balls. This, the 45, and it's gone to the right. Not quite on song so far. So the sides still level towards the end of a half, where Cork have created 13 scoring chances. Mayo have created 17. Nicholas Murphy here. There's a foot block that time. It was by James Dallin, I think. Free to Cork. So can either side take a lead with them to the half-time break. Podsio Mahoney getting away from Fergal Costello, and that was a very, very difficult ball for Mark O'Sullivan to do absolutely anything with. He's a very willing runner, but hadn't much chance with that. As we go across to the sideline once again to Marty.
Indeed, Mayo are going to change. Pat Fallon is about to be introduced, and the man that's going to be coming off is Gordon Morley.
Well, Gordon Morley has been doing a match-up on Don Davis, essentially following him everywhere and anywhere. Don, who got the first point of the match for Cork. The final whistle of the first half. Mayo made much the better start, built up a decent lead as well, but Cork were always hanging in there, and a goal by Philip Clifford after 26 minutes, following some very good work by Joe Kavanagh in particular, means that the sides go in level at the break. John Mahon with a bit of thinking to do and some talking as well, same as Larry Tompkins, because in the first of the Bank of Ireland semi-finals at Croke Park, the half-time score here reads Cork 1-4, Mayo 7 points. And let's go down to Marty.
Indeed, thank you, Tomas Tierney, Mayo selector. A very good overall first half performance, but you seem to fall asleep in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we started well. We kicked some good points. I think we went maybe 5 points to 1 up. We lost our shape then. I think we were struggling at midfield. Cork number 8 is playing very well, and basically Cork have come back into it very strong, and our defence is under serious pressure the last 5 minutes.
Joe Kavanagh and Mark O'Sullivan, that axis seems to be also causing you problems, as well as Podsio Mahoney. What exactly are you going to do at half-time? We see that Pat Fallon may be introduced.
Well, Pat Fallon will be introduced straight after half-time, and hopefully that will give us more possession in midfield. We haven't been winning the ball to play with it, so Pat Fallon should help in that area.
Still believe you can get to that All-Ireland final?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Tomas.
Tomas Tierney there, Mayo selector, former Mayo and of course Galway player, and the introduction of Pat Fallon surely will be a big boost for Mayo in that second half. All very interesting, isn't it? Mayo started so well, Cork came storming back. It certainly set up what is going to be a really fascinating second half. I'll talk to the panel and see what they thought about that first half after the commercial break. Now, just before we go to that commercial break, a little reminder about our car stickers. We have car stickers in all of the different county colours with the slogan on it, keep the faith. Well, who's going to keep the faith here at Croke Park today? That's where you can get the car stickers, by the way. The Sunday Game, P.O. Box 2224, RT Donnybrook, Dublin 4. Good stuff. All right, as I said, we have much to talk about from that first half with Tony Davis and Martin Carney. We'll be hearing their thoughts after the break. This one is decided after the break. This one is decided, if it's going to be decided here today. Let's have a look at the statistics from that first half. The scoreline will tell us that it's all square at half-time. 1-4 to Mayo, 7 points. 10 frees to Cork, 12 to Mayo. Mayo may yet rue those wides they've had in that first half. Now, it's just been twice as many as Cork, but there have been some very gettable scores by Mayo, and they just haven't been putting away, given the amount of possession they've had in that first half. The 145 then, and 2 yellow cards. Both those yellow cards went against Mayo players. Aidan Higgins conceded the first one. James Horan also booked in that first half. Tony Davis. It looked grim for Cork for the first 10 minutes of that game. Just didn't seem to be on top anywhere. Then came into it, and then the goal came just at the right time.
Well, they needed a goal because they were awful. The first 10 minutes was absolutely awful. Well, I suppose that's wrong. Mayo were good. Mayo really showed Cork up. The way that they were scoring at will was fantastic to watch, and they really needed a score. Joe Kavanagh is making a big difference. And a finish by Philip Clifford. But the difference there, when Cork started coming into the game, Kieran went over on Kieran MacDonald and marked him up. started running at the Mayo defence, and the Mayo defence opens up. Joe Cavan is pulling the strings at centre forward, and Podsy O'Mahony is running at them as well. And this is just indicative of it. A quick break, well taken by Philip Clifford in the end, just to make sure he was outside the square. But until Joe Cavan and those lads started running at the Mayo defence, Cork were in all sorts of trouble. They were rudderless really at the start. They were destroyed.
Also, what will worry Mayo, Martin, in that is that they could have conceded 2 more goals. Cork had 2 other good chances. The one after that goal, a great chance, came back up the post.
Yeah, they had 2 great chances in the 22nd and in the 28th minute. I think Marcus Sullivan was possibly involved in both, Michael. And I mean, if they'd have got either of them, they'd have been ahead at half time, obviously. But a couple of things about Mayo. Mayo haven't scored since the 17th minute. Between the 17th and the 31st, this incidentally is the miss. It's a great effort by Joe Kavanagh. Marcus Sullivan is coming in, should have put the rebound to the net possibly. Okay, it came off the woodwork, but there was one earlier than that also actually, where he put the ball wide with his right foot. But early on in the game it looked so much all Mayo. I mean, they were fitter, stronger, getting to the ball first. They went 6 points to 1 up, but that was in the 17th minute. They didn't score again until the very end of the half, and they seem to have gone out of it around the middle of the park somewhat. And again, they have registered 9 or 10 wides in that first half, and some of them were of a very, very bad quality from a Mayo point of view. The Cork change in tactic of starting to run at the Mayo defenders, in particular Joe Kavanagh coming into the game, has made a big difference. And again, when Kieran went over on Kieran MacDonald, he came through twice, gave 2 balls to Podsy. Podsy brought it from 6-1 to 6-3 in a matter of moments, and it brought Cork right back into the game. But if Mayo don't win this game, they'll lose some of the misses they had from scores in the first half.
Well, it's a battle of the varying talents on the field, a battle of wits and a battle of tactics too. Who's going to get the better of it? Well, as I said a moment ago, the next 35 minutes is going to be fascinating, because who could call it at this stage? Who knows who's going to win this semi-final? We take another commercial break. We're back after that.
But we've settled well in the last quarter of an hour, and we've just got to pick up the tempo from there now.
No changes.
No changes.
Thank you very much, Conor.
They line up in the middle of the field, as you can see, for the start of this second half. And Pat Fallon is in there alongside David Brady. There he is, Pat Fallon. He'll have been very disappointed, I'm sure, to have been omitted from the starting 15 following his storming performance when introduced as a sub against Galway. And the man, as we heard, who Duff is Gordon Morley. Didn't do an awful lot wrong, but it's a case of just restructuring matters, trying to find the best possible blend. Colm McMenamin, quite sure he had a chance to pick that one up. So there is the change. This is Sean O'Heilpie into space. Micheál O'Croneen getting a vital touch to it. Philip Clifford here, challenged by Aidan Higgins. Still Clifford trying to storm his way through. In the end, held up there by Alan Roach. Well, Clifford has a very good record in the championship. That's now a goal and 8 points this year so far. Not bad going at all for the TSB employee. Interesting that the same company employs the Cork hurling captain. Podsy O'Mahony about to take this.
Well, with the reshuffle for Mayo, with Pat Fallon coming on to midfield, James Nallen has gone into now play at fullback. I thought he probably would take up Joe Kavanagh, who was causing a lot of trouble. Nallen, who of course was the regular centre back for Mayo for years.
O'Mahony's shot is very precise. A 3rd point. So really good work by Podsy O'Mahony. He continues to be marked by Fergal Costello. He's made it 1-5 to 8 points. Cork shading it. And just as we watch the kick out here by Peter Burke, I've noticed that James Nallen has gone out towards, well, he's up full back, but really operating in this defence of Mayo against just 2 inside forwards for Cork. So Nallen is going everywhere and anywhere that Don Davis goes. Kenneth Mortimer conceding the free. Kicked in here by Micheál O'Sullivan. That's touched down there as far as Podsy O'Mahony once again, and the ball was handled on the ground, and it's going to be a free out to Mayo. Plenty of words from Podsy for the referee John Bannon. And because of the protest, Mayo get an extra 13 metres. Kieran O'Sullivan getting himself the free as he was dragged down by Kieran MacDonald. So now who's got the resolution and the strength to get through to the All-Ireland final? Don Davis played outside to Philip Clifford, and Clifford's shot has gone over the bar. So now a goal and a point. Good work by the captain from Bantry Blues. And Cork have made much the better start to the second half, just as Mayo led by 6-1 at one stage during the early stages of the first half. Don Davis here providing that ball outside there beautifully. Here's Pat Fallon. Can he be the commanding figure they require in midfield towards James Horan, who started so prominently? Players calling for it. Getting into cul-de-sac somewhat. Here's MacDonald, there's a scoring chance for him, and that's beautifully clipped over the bar. 3 points now for Kieran MacDonald. So he leads the way in the scores for Mayo so far, justifying his recall. 1 point the difference again. Great strike here by Kieran MacDonald, but Cork were a little bit slow to close him down. Micheál O'Sullivan with an immense amount of really hard grafting. Joe Kavanagh being assertive inside here towards Micheál O'Croneen, the debut man. He hits it into space, a little bit of inexperience there. Mark O'Sullivan having little chance of taking it cleanly. Said it's Kevin Cahill. Pat Fallon. Bad ball, Don Davis got there first. Bit of a pile-up. Mayo get the free kick. Kevin Cahill shaping up to Don Davis. Play continues. Here's Anthony Lynch. Here's Sexton. Don Davis moving menacingly forward. Owen Sexton way up with the attack, and that's dropped into the waiting arms of Peter Burke. Here's Colin McMenamin. MacDonald. Nice lazy strike inside, but always favouring Kieran O'Sullivan to get there first. Once again, Micheál O'Sullivan. Towards Philip Clifford, beautifully taken into his chest. His marker is Aidan Higgins. 1 against 1 up there. Mark O'Sullivan isolated for once, but cover coming in quickly there in the figure of Fergal Costello. James Nellen. Not the greatest of passes, should have been an easy one for Kenneth Mortimer, but wasn't. Still, Mayo retained their shape. David Nestor breezing in here beautifully. Great pace, Nestor. Lynch chases. Cronan's after him as well. Space at a premium, however, and in the end it's Kieran O'Sullivan who gets that ball back out there towards Martin Cronin. Owen Sexton here, having a look up to see who's making himself available. It's Joe Kavanagh, and running into a shoulder which wasn't fair according to the referee by David Brady. Again, Brady furious with the decision of the referee, but just where the contact was made, it was high up into the face. And that's a yellow card. So now 3 yellow cards for Mayo as we take some sideline news from Marty.
Indeed, there's going to be a change in the Mayo attack in a matter of moments. John Casey is going to be brought on, and the captain is going to be taken off, Kenneth Mortimer.
Well, that will be interesting to see how Casey fares. Right now we're watching Philip Clifford try to set up Mark O'Sullivan. He's got Joe Kavanagh free in front of goal with a block down. Nicely executed, means a chance never came to anything. And instead it's Fergal Costello thundering out of the half-back line. Maurice Sheridan. He's put that ball in behind Pat Fallon. Early options missed by Mayo there. Colin McMenamin. Martin Cronin coming in to challenge. Still McMenamin. Great running by the number 12. Players peeling right and left, silly holes. And the challenge in the end by Micheál O'Sullivan again, much the same as David Brady a little while ago, the referee deciding it wasn't a fair shoulder-to-shoulder charge. So now that change that we heard about, it's about to take effect. And John Casey is coming into the picture here to give the slip of paper. Well, we've we've seen him play everywhere and anywhere in recent years for Mayo. And so Kenneth Mortimer is the one who makes way.
Yes, and John Casey is a player sort of like Kieran MacDonald. He's capable of anything. He could score a goal and a few points, or he could have a terrible game. It's almost one extreme to the other with him, but he is capable of running at the Cork defence, which most of the Mayo forwards at the moment are not doing.
This is the face of Maurice Sheridan. And there's the angle that confronts him here. Well within his range. And he underlines that by putting it beautifully over the bar between the posts. Just his second pointed free of the match. And the teams are level for the third time in this All-Ireland semi-final. It's 1-6 to 9 points. More sideline news again.
Cork manager Larry Tompkins has acknowledged that James Horan is a major source of trouble. He's now moved in Kieran O'Sullivan to mark the man from Ballintubber.
I'm afraid with the amount of noise in our ears right now, we aren't able to hear a lot of what's happening over on the sideline. But instead, it's John Casey here. The attendants enjoying this to the full. The Mayo fans hoping this one drops short. Taken by Kevin O'Dwyer. Owen Sexton building once again. And that has gone out of play. Here's Casey. Inside towards Kieran MacDonald. But it's Anthony Lynch who takes it back once again. Ronan McCarthy. Next, Nicholas Murphy. Don Davis, the challenge coming in from James Nallen, but so far powerless to stop Don Davis. Still moving forward. Here's a scoring chance and he's put it over the bar. A second point for Don Davis.
Well, the referee made a very bad mistake there, Jerry. He allowed a Cork man, Ronan McCarthy, coming out to hit a Mayo man off the ball when he had given the pass. Should have been definitely a free to Mayo there. He allowed play on, and of course Cork at this point, Don Davis bursting through and kicking a great point.
Well, Cork are now about to introduce Fatna Collins, another one of the men from West Cork, famed for its football. This time it's Kieran MacDonald from Crossmalina, chasing after him as Micheál Cronin. That's a low ball inside, which rolls all the way through. There were a couple of inside forwards waiting for that, including James Horan. John Casey pursuing Martin Cronin. Still they get it out as far as Shonoga Halpine. He's settled down a great deal better. Up to Philip Clifford. Transferred to Nicholas Murphy. And the high challenge once again. This time it's by Joe Kavanagh. And the referee stepping in to try and defuse it. It'll be a free to Mayo.
Mayo should be making a change here at left corner back. They're in trouble here on this left wing of attack, or on the right wing of attack for Cork. Philip Clifford is having a very, very good game. Mayo need to make a change there.
That's back once again to Anthony Lynch. The man who is marking Philip Clifford still, by the way, is Aidan Higgins. Well, Fatna Collins is just coming in now to give the little slip of paper to the referee. And I think we've got some further sideline news.
Indeed, just to confirm, Ger, that Micheál Cronin is the man that's going to be substituted, and Fatna Collins, as he just said, is now on.
Well, Micheál Cronin's first championship match is in Croke Park. Fatna Collins is an experienced campaigner by now, but very rarely gets the chance to actually start a match. So Fatna's gone in there towards full forward. In fact, he's gone right into full forward. Sideline ball kicked in by Martin Cronin, dropped down there by David Heaney. Free to Mayo. Heaney to take her towards Kieran MacDonald. Anthony Lynch. Here's Ronan McCarthy. They pick out Podsy O'Mahony. Still Cork by just a point. But another chance to build here. Joe Kavanagh, great ball to Martin Cronin, has a little support. Fachna Collins is waiting for it. He's fouled. It's going to be a free close to the 13-metre line. The referee's decision not exactly met with universal approval by the fans of the Connacht champions. It's a relatively simple free here for Philip Clifford to take. A goal and a point so far in the match. This to increase Cork's lead. Tapped over the bar. A goal from play, a point from play, and now a point from a free as well, and it's 1-8 or 10 points to 9 for Mayo. But a game which is still there for the taking for either side. Micheál O'Sullivan, toe poked away by James Horan. John Casey next in, but he's beaten for it by Martin Cronin. Storming more and more into this match. Micheál O'Sullivan being urged to take it forward. 3 Mayo players coming after him, but again it drops short into the waiting arms of Peter Burke. This is Alan Roach, and it keeps Noel Kennelly out of this Mayo team. Fouled, however, by Fachna Collins coming from behind. Roach taking this one. And it's James Nallen going across for that. Mayo build once again. That time it was Fergal Costello who was fouled after he delivered that ball in, and it's going to be a free from where it lands. That's the 45-metre line. James Horan. Again, trying to take it around Ronan McCarthy. Back onto that left boot. That's a great kick. 3 points now for Horan. Edging Mayo back into it once again. And it's now 1-8 to 10 points. Just a solitary point between the teams. Great individual work here by Horan. Crowds willing their team through to the All-Ireland final. Here's Pat Fallon trying to set up a scoring chance and an equaliser perhaps. In towards Maurice Sheridan, fingered away by O'Halpine. Here's Sexton. Both defences have been under lots of pressure. Here's Philip Clifford. The man he's marking is Aidan Higgins. Podsy O'Mahony, that's just gone in behind him, Fergal Costello. And the last man to touch it was the Cork captain, or rather the Cork wing forward.
Philip Clifford is winning a lot of possession in right corner forward for Cork. In fact, he's getting by Aidan Higgins so easily that he should be really going for goal and having a go himself. That was a very poor pass to Podsy O'Mahony.
This time the midfield exchange is won by Cork. Don Davis. Mayo will be disappointed to see this ball coming back into their faces once again. Not the greatest of passes. Mark O'Sullivan couldn't keep it in play because of the closeness of Kevin Cahill. John Maughan there pacing up and down, and a man who's done terrific work, not just with Mayo of course, but with County Clare. We always remember back in '92 with Larry Tompkins, Conor Coonahan. At an earlier stage in their playing careers, John Maughan could just as easily be marking Larry Tompkins. Right now they watch as James Horan takes on Ronan McCarthy, trying to get it back onto the left. Support available. David Brady was available, Nestor was available, and instead it's Anthony Lynch. Kieran O'Sullivan out to Sean O'Halpine, the man who will be here with the hurlers, hopes to be here with the footballers in September. Philip Clifford loses out this time, and Aidan Higgins deemed to have carried the ball out of play. Midway now through the second half. Joe Kavanagh leaving it behind to Podsy O'Mahony. Philip Clifford's ahead of him. Here's a scoring chance for Clifford. Nice ball, ooh, just beyond Fachna Collins, and perfect positioning by Kevin Cahill once again. Here's David Brady. Don Davis chases. Well, there was a real scoring chance for Philip Clifford just moments ago. But now in the counter-attack, here comes Mayo once more, and MacDonald falls over himself. Cork get it back. Davis, confronted by Brady. Good ball carrier. Intelligent play as he looks around and holds it up, just waiting for a simple and effective pass. But in the end, they say he threw that ball. You can hear Larry Tompkins in the background, very vexed by that particular decision. And there's a change being made by Cork, and the man who inevitably is going to come in will be Fionn Murray. Larry making the changes as we go back to the sideline to Murphy.
Just to supplement what you're saying, Jerry, yes, Fionn is in, and Podsy O'Mahony is the man that's been taken off.
That is an interesting situation. Podsy has scored 3 points, and he's thrown his jersey down. He's obviously unhappy as Mayo come forward, but failed to get the score that their attack might have merited. That wide by Pat Fallon. Word about that substitution?
Very surprisingly. Podsy O'Mahony was causing a lot of problems the first half. May not have been in the game much the second half, but he's the ability to take on his man and kick points. Marcus Sullivan has been struggling there in that full forward line. I thought he'd be the man to go.
Marcus Sullivan is now full forward, and Fionn Murray has gone top of the left. Cork ring the changes in attack. This is Fatna Collins now out around the half-forward line or midfield. And Mayo don't retreat quickly enough. Particularly John Casey wasn't going to yield any ground. The free to be taken by Kieran O'Sullivan to Philip Clifford, again doing well against Aidan Higgins. Belted in towards Mark O'Sullivan, and he just couldn't hold it. And again, significantly, Fionn Murray was moving into position just in case the ball was flicked back to him. So tense moments now for fans of Mayo and for Cork. 15 minutes or so remaining. Cork with just a solitary point. Now trying to stretch their lead to 2 here. Philip Clifford belting it high with accuracy. That's a great score. A goal and 3 points for Philip Clifford.
Well, I'm stating the obvious again, Ger, but I've been making the point for about 10 minutes now that Aidan Higgins is struggling badly on Clifford. I'm very surprised that Mayo, when they have no Tonelli, a good defender, in the subs don't bring him on there on the left side of their defence, which is struggling very badly.
Well, they've made 2 of their changes so far. And who knows, they may be about to make a third. Fatna Collins up once again towards the corner. Fionn Murray. He was leaving it for the other substitute, Fatna Collins. Well, I've just got a glimpse of Liam McHale being prepared on the far side. It might be that he's the one who's going to come in. One man who's in already is Fionn Murray. A nice angle ball across towards Joe Kavanagh. Bit of work to do. Mark O'Sullivan waiting just edge of the small rectangle. That's floated in by Joe Kavanagh and put over the bar. First point of the day for the Nemo Rangers man, but he's created an awful lot. Was involved in the build-up to the goal. Defiant Cork fans in that mix-up there on Hill 16. I've seen Joe stretch Cork's lead. He had to run a fair distance to get this one. Took it away from David Heaney. So Cork lead by that goal after 26 minutes of the first half. Towards Mark O'Sullivan it comes. A point so far in the game. David Heaney. That's Anthony Lynch there. David Nestor, the one who fouls him. And McHale is about to come in. I wouldn't be surprised if it's David Nestor who makes way, but that hasn't changed just yet. Free taken towards Fionn Murray. Alan Roach winning the free. Murray annoyed with the referee's decision, and now the referee holds up the game momentarily while McHale can come in. Very much the sporting prince of County Mayo in basketball, in Gaelic football. He's been a star down the years, and now they need him. Third and final substitution made by John Maughan. And the switches have been in the forwards are right now. We'll see where McHale is going to go to. Nobody's left the field just yet. John Mahon, I think, trying to give the call there. And it's still a case of 16 players being on the field for Mayo. John Mahon tried to make his change, and now it is going to be David Nestor. Oh. Alan Roach, the unlucky one. Joe Kavanagh heading it in towards Fionn Murray. About 12 minutes remaining. Roach going down. Mayo get the free. That's broken by Micheál O'Sullivan to Nicholas Murphy. And a poor finish after all of that by Murphy. Neither of the Cork midfielders has managed to get into the scoring so far, and Larry still very animated over there. Mayo looking to try and get possession quickly and get it down to their forwards. Here's Colin McMenamin. McHale is slotted into midfield. Still kept in play over there by James Nallum, taking on Micheál O'Sullivan, going by with some ease. Mayo needing something. They'll remember the great goal that he got against Kerry back in '96 in the semi-final. And this time it's a foul. Don Davis.
Yes, that's the second foul against Don Davis for illegal hand passes.
Free to Mayo, and Maurice Sheridan just sizing up the angle. Always a picture of concentration just before he takes his frees. This is a very important one here. About 11 minutes still to go. The packed new stand in the background. Kevin O'Dwyer on his goal line there. Sheridan will go for it. Difficult one, however, for a right-footed kicker, and he's put it wide. So another wide for Mayo there, and so far 11 wides.
Difficult kick for a right-footed man there. It's surprising that they didn't let Kieran McDonald take it off his left foot.
Nicholas Murphy, once again, some fine fielding. Great block down by Pat Fallon, however. Cork will retain possession. Martin Cronin about to hit the sideline kick towards Joe Kavanagh. Wonderful catch that time by David Heaney, fed outside there beautifully to David Brady. Brady has assistance here in the shape of Fergal Costello. James Horan, lovely transfer. John Casey next. A lovely movement here by Mayo. Can they finish with something? Ball seems to be handled on the ground. Still, they have possession. McHale out towards MacDonald. Sexton trying to close him. Cork funneling players back. Kieran MacDonald holding it up. Has the chance gone a-begging? It's away by Kieran O'Sullivan. Comes back towards Brady once again. Coming through from midfield, and that's gone over the bar. A real rallying score by David Brady. For a moment I thought the chance had gone, but MacDonald held it up very judiciously, and Brady arrived bang on cue to make it 110 to 11 points. What an important first point to get. This time a shortish kick out towards Micheál O'Sullivan. That's one back down there again by Joe Kavanagh. Has support. Fionn Murray was to his left. Inside towards Mark O'Sullivan, but just over his head. And that'll be a kick out for Mayo. Well, there were other options open to Joe Kavanagh. He chose the one-on-one situation here, which had Mark O'Sullivan in there against Kevin Cahill. But John Mahon will be a little happier with that last point by Brady. Little to choose between the teams. McHale goes up there. It's still running loose, and Don Davis comes. Jersey was pulled, however, by Colin McMenamin. He gets through an immense amount of hard work, Don Davis. Must have been a candidate certainly for man of the match at the end of the Munster final, same afternoon as Mayo beat Galway, of course. Wretched weather conditions on that particular Sunday. Today is absolutely ideal for football. And now a pressure kick for Philip Clifford. Ball positioned on the 45-metre line. McHale, by the way, now is on the 40, marked by Sean O'Halpine. That's gone beautifully between the posts and over. That's a goal and 4 points now for the team captain. Delighted Cork fans have seen their side open up a lead once again. It was a very important kick because once again a goal separates these teams. McHale coming forward against O'Halpine, who batted it down. David Heaney picking it up over the centre half back. Don Davis challenging. Still Heaney. Next is Maurice Sheridan. Kieran MacDonald. Good ball inside. Ran away from Nellen initially. Still the chance for James Horan. Ball seemed to be touched on the ground. And it's got to be a free. But that was a really close call for Cork. And a very promising move for Mayo. Sometimes the swiftness of Mayo's attacks are almost breathtaking. But this is going to be a free, which is taken by Maurice Sheridan on the 13-metre line. He's got 3 points from frees in all. Well, there's still plenty of time, I'm sure he's saying, left. 6 minutes to go. Only 2 points between the teams. And this is what happened here with James Nellen, and that ball was clearly touched on the ground there by Martin Cronin. The free resulted. Possession vital here, and McHale gathers it in beautifully. A lot of steps taken there by David Heaney. Gets away with it, however, his jersey is pulled then in the end by Fatima Collins. Mayo get the free. Inside towards Kieran MacDonald. Spills down off the head there of Micheál O'Sullivan. Here's Anthony Lynch. Ronan McCarthy. A very tight match and a very difficult one to call, even with about 5 minutes left. McHale pleading his innocence over there. But John Bannon noticed the indiscretion. And within minutes of coming on, McHale has also got himself a card.
So even if it's up for grabs still, and if Mayo, you know, had a couple of good players that could turn around, but the standard has been very poor this second half. Terrible fouling and very, very poor kicking of the ball.
This time it's kicked inaccurately towards Martin Cronin, who couldn't hold on to it. Nicholas Murphy the next in the queue waiting. Philip Clifford, all eyes on the ball, but behind him there was Alan Roach, very close to the photographers. A kick out then for Mayo, which they want to take quickly as Philip Clifford is down injured, but off the field of play. The referee has indicated to the officials from Cork and Team Dr. Con Murphy in particular that the forward needs attention. Cork down to 14 men right now. Fisted back by Micheál O'Sullivan. Who can grab the victory here? What chances of it going for a second match? O'Sullivan on the ground. And he gets himself the free, but an awful lot of stoppages, as Colin says. Kieran O'Sullivan looking like he wants to take it. Philip Clifford is back on the field once again. Here's Fionn Murray trying to sell dummies, doing so successfully there to Alan Roach. And that's a very fine kick. Fionn Murray, who can't be too far away from a starting place in the Cork forward line. His record is good. When he gets an opportunity, he scores. And that score has stretched the Cork lead once again to 112 to 12 points. Beautifully taken here. Liam McHale. Lobbed ahead here for David Brady. Inside towards Maurice Sheridan. Anthony Lynch is coming across, but there is assistance here. Casey's there, and the Cork defence will have to be disciplined as Casey tries to burrow his way through. Spills away from him, however, and Cork get it back once again. Here's Ronan McCarthy. Final few minutes of the game. I make it about 3 to go. Still Ronan McCarthy. Looking for a decent ball inside was Mark O'Sullivan. A chance to perhaps take it by Kevin Cahill. Fionn Murray once again. Philip Clifford down injured this meanwhile. Here's Fionn Murray taking on Roach. A chance for Peter Burke then to carry that ball as far as Pat Fallon. James Nellen. Mayo looking for scores, Cork looking for possession. Sean O'Halpine. And that's in over the head of Joe Cavan at that time. Clifford seems to be carrying a leg, as they say. Certainly not as fit as he needs to be. Here's James Nellen, head down, ready to take it forward past Fatna Collins. Colin McMenamin booting it in towards the forwards, towards James Horan. Mayo looking for those very important scoring opportunity. Here's John Casey. Martin Cronin trying to keep him outside, goal side, near the large rectangle. The pass into space once again gathered in here by the almost avaricious Cork backline, hungry for possession. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan. Again, there's been lots of tenacity in that Cork backline this afternoon. Here's Philip Clifford. Back on his feet once again, ready to take it up the Mayo defence. Fionn Murray looking to try and finish it here. He's got another championship goal. A goal against Limerick in the semi-final, a goal against Kerry in the Munster final, and now a goal against Mayo in the All-Ireland semi-final, which may well seal this game in Cork's favour. I've noticed that Brendan Ger O'Sullivan has just given a little slip of paper to the referee. That's the score, 12 to 12 points, and Philip Clifford is having to limp out of this game, having played his part and having scored a goal and 4 points.
Yes, and not only that, but he set up the goal which kills off the game, but Mayo have had warnings of that for a long time. Philip Clifford was destroying Aidan Higgins, there's no change made, and Mayo have paid the ultimate price there with Clifford setting up an easy goal for Fionn Murray.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of the Cork fans watching will now be worried about that leg injury to Philip Clifford, because they're now looking at a second All-Ireland final in September unless Mayo can produce something magical in these last couple of minutes. Kieran MacDonald taking on Owen Sexton. Back to James Horan. They need something quickly. Lee McHale was coming in, but again that backline stands firm. Wonderful covering. Fatna Collins. Here's once again Kevin Cahill. Nice ball inside here towards Pat Fallon. Mayo need goals quickly. Time's running out. And again that Cork defence has managed to stand firm, and that's Anthony Lynch once again. Part of that mean rearguard who give nothing away lightly. Well, the scoring chances, interesting. Cork have created 30, Mayo 25. And that's the number of scores you can see there at the top of your screen. That's won back here again by Pat Fallon. Time is running out now for the Connacht champions. We're now in injury time. Here's Fergal Costello, Liam McHale, again intervention here. And that is by Kieran O'Sullivan. He boots it away. Cork are in the All-Ireland football final, and the county will be looking for another double, just like 1990 in September. The fans delighted, but it was close for a long, long time. Philip Clifford with a goal after 26 minutes of the first half, limping badly right now, but that clinch goal coming with just a couple of minutes to go from the finish, put away by Fionn Murray, the youngster, with the goal touch, and it finishes Cork 2-12. Mayo 12 points. And let's go down once again to Marty, talking to, I'm sure, delighted and perhaps relieved, Larry Tompkins.
Indeed, as Ger just said, I'm sure you're a very happy man now.
Oh, very happy. It's great to be in the All-Ireland final. I'm delighted for all the lads. It's been a great effort over the last few years. delighted for everyone. Like, we had a lot of motivation coming in here today. A lot of people didn't give us credit for winning the National League and the Munster Championship. But today I hope that a lot of those critics are put to sleep. And as I'm thrilled for everyone, the lads, like, they've been tremendous.
You had a bad opening 20 minutes, but it showed their character, that they settled and got into their stride.
Yeah, that has been the hallmark of this team. Like, we came through games all year, like through the National League, as I mentioned there, and through the Championship. We've come through it like when our backs were to the wall. And as I said, we went in like in the Munster Championship, like at half time, 3 points down, and they came back out in the second half and put up a fantastic performance. We have a very strong panel, as we've seen there today again. And as I said, I'm delighted for each and every one of them. It's great, it's tremendous being in the All-Ireland final, and as it's great for Cork to have both hurling and football there.
And indeed, on a personal basis, the critics are silenced as well for Larry Tompkins. Done a great job.
Well, I don't know about that. It's not for me. It's no personal gain for me. I'm just delighted. It's a players' day. As I said, I'm just thrilled for the lads, and they're putting great effort for me and great commitment, and I'm delighted for them. It's not for me. This is a victory. It's not for me. It's for the players, and it's for the supporters of Cork that has followed us through thick and thin.
All-Ireland double on the way?
Well, we don't know about that. We look forward to the hurling now, and as I said, we wish Jimmy Barry all the best for that. And as I say, we've been following them all year. Who knows? It'd be a nice way to bring in the Millennium, Marty, to have the two winners.
Well done, Larry Tompkins.
Thanks very much.
Yes, a very delighted Larry Tompkins there here. Podsy O'Mahony and the other lads, Joe Kavanagh, some of them exchanged their shirts for the Mayo colours. And this tradition now of not allowing the fans onto the pitch results in a little lap of honour here by Cork, but they'll be well aware that the job isn't finished just yet. They'll be meeting the winners of Meath versus Armagh, and that of course we'll be bringing you live on this network next Sunday afternoon. Disappointment, the lot of Mayo once again. How much heartbreak the county has had to endure during the 90s, and once again Cork have had the measure of them, because they played well in the second half, Cork, and got, I think, 2 goals and 8 points during that time, and they will be very